It happened on a Wednesday. Late afternoon, sky painted in that soft gold that makes even a strip mall feel like a postcard. And in the middle of all that calm, in a jewelry store tucked between a spa and a bookstore, everything blew up over a birthday cake and a necklace. Now, before I walk you through what happened, let me just say the Izami's son Marcus isn't the kind of kid who makes waves. He's quiet, stubborn in the best way, and always thinking ahead. 14 years old, but sometimes he talks like he's already lived 2 lives. So when he told me 3 weeks before his sister's birthday that he wanted to buy her a necklace, I knew he meant it. Not just any gift. Not a toy or a game or a stuffed animal. Marcus said he wanted to give Maya something she could keep. Something she'd wear when she missed him or when she felt nervous before a school presentation. Something that whispered, "Your big brother loves you," without saying a word. He picked out this delicate silver chain with a little star-shaped charm. Cost more than what he had, but he didn't ask for help. He just started waking up early, delivering newspapers before school, cleaning cars on Saturdays, and squirreling away every dollar. By the end of the 3rd week, he'd saved $52. Enough for the necklace and the strawberry cake Maya had pointed at in the bakery window the week before. The day of the big purchase, Marcus dressed in his best jeans and a clean polo shirt. Hair brushed, shoes clean. He looked exactly like the kind of kid you'd be proud to raise. He grabbed the cake box, tied up in red ribbon, and caught the bus to Westdale Mall. He was nervous. Yeah, but in that way kids get when they know they're doing something meaningful. He walked into that store with his head up. It was the kind of place with white floors, glass counters, and chandelier lights that made everything sparkle a little too much. And that's when she saw him. The manager. Early 30s, blonde bun so tight it probably had a headache of its own. Name tag that said Cheryl. Now, Cheryl didn't see a customer. She saw something else. Her eyes did that quick scan: shoes, cake box, brown skin, and her whole vibe shifted. Not hostile, but suspicious. Like Marcus was a riddle she didn't want to solve. She asked, "Can I help you with something?" The kind of tone that already says you don't belong. Marcus smiled, polite as ever, and said, "Yes, ma'am. I'm looking for a necklace for my little sister's birthday." That was strike one. Cheryl raised an eyebrow and gave him a once-over. "Do you know how much these cost?" she asked, slow and deliberate, like maybe he'd wandered in by mistake. Marcus nodded. "I've been saving up. I know what I'm here for." She didn't look convinced. Instead of guiding him like she would any other customer, she hovered, told him not to touch anything, warned him to keep the cake away from the glass. And when he walked a little too close to a display labeled "Customer Favorites Touch to Explore," she snapped. "Hey, what do you think you're doing? Don't move. Put that down." Marcus hadn't even touched the necklace. His hand was hovering, sure, but that was it. The whole store went still. Customers turned. The security guard, who looked like he'd rather be anywhere else, stood up from his stool. Cheryl marched over like she was walking into a crime scene. Marcus tried to explain. "It said touch to explore. I wasn't stealing. I have money." She wasn't listening. She grabbed the cake box out of his hands, tore the ribbon open, and flipped the lid. The cake perfect, pink, soft, smeared against the display glass like a crime scene. Frosting slid down the counter. That's when she said, "Security, check him. He might have hidden something. Pat him down." Marcus didn't cry, didn't yell. He just stood there, shoulders stiff, eyes sharp, and said, "Call my dad." Cheryl rolled her eyes. "Oh, I'm sure Daddy will clear this right up." Well, she was right about one thing. I would. I got the call while I was finishing paperwork. 20 minutes later, I was walking through the mall in plain clothes, badge in my pocket, fury in my chest. I saw my boy standing there next to a smashed birthday cake, frosting on his shirt, and I knew exactly what kind of storm I was walking into. Cheryl saw me and smiled like she'd just won the lottery. "Let me guess," she sneered. "Uncle? Stepdad? Security guard off duty." I didn't say a word, just walked up to the counter, pulled out my badge, and flipped it open. Chief Isaac Daniels, Metropolitan Police Department. And that's my son. Her face drained like a bathtub with the plug yanked out. She opened her mouth, but didn't know what to say. So I said it for her. You publicly accused my son of theft. You destroyed his property. You humiliated him in front of witnesses. All without proof. She stammered something about policy, about prior incidents, about his type. I cut her off. You mean kids who look like him? She tried to backpedal, but it was too late. I told the security guard to roll the footage. We watched it back frame by frame. Marcus walking in, asking politely, following instructions, reaching slowly toward a sign that invited him to explore. And then Cheryl, charging in like he was holding a weapon. When it ended, I turned to her and said, "You owe my son more than an apology. You owe him his dignity back." She tried to offer a discount, a free charm, a store credit. I refused. We paid full price for the necklace, not because we had Tobit, because Marcus's love for his sister didn't need a discount to mean something. We walked out together, heads high, and that necklace? It sparkled just as bright in the sun as it did under the store lights. Later that evening, at home, Marcus gave the necklace to Maya. She opened the box like it held the moon, hugged him so hard it almost knocked him over. And when she whispered, "It's perfect," he finally smiled. That night, after dinner, I handed Marcus a letter, an official apology from the store's corporate office. He looked at it, read every word, and said, "I don't need this framed. I just want people to stop thinking like her." And I told him, that's how it starts. By standing tall when it's hardest. By telling the truth, even when they try to drown it out. So yeah, Cheryl got her lesson. But this story wasn't really about her. It was about a boy who wanted to show love. And the world tried to shame him for it. But he didn't flinch. And neither did I. Now, I want to know what you think. Was Cheryl just doing her job, or was this another case of bias hiding behind rules? Should people like her keep their jobs after incidents like this? Let me know in the comments. Let's talk about dignity, justice, and what it really takes to change a system that's been broken too long. And hey, if this story meant something to you, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that dig deep and speak truth. Because this isn't just content. It's life. And sometimes, it needs to be told loud and clear. Thank you for taking the time to listen to today's story on Store of Good Stories. If this story touched your heart or made you think, don't forget to hit like and share the video to spread this positive message to more people. And if this is your first time here, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of the meaningful stories we share every week. Your support is the biggest motivation for Store of Good Stories to keep bringing heartfelt and valuable stories to you. See you in the next video.